Good and loser, we're making 1949 cookies. Good morning. Today's the day. I'm super excited. So a few weeks ago, I posted a video about going through a box of my grandparents' ephemera. And if you've seen that video, you'll know that I found the first edition of the Grand National Pillsbury recipe and baking contest. And I thought, what does a $50,000 prize winning no need water rising twist taste like? And was it worth $50,000? Let's find out.
I had to get used to the ingredients not being listed the first thing at the beginning of the recipe. But these are first world problems, so let's move on. Step 1. Combine shortening, sugar, salt, vanilla, and scalded milk.
I don't know what scalded milk is. I'm sure it's hot, but I gotta Google.
Okay, easy. So scalded milk, you bring to about 180 degrees right before the boil, and then you let it cool down to 110, and then add. Okay, got it. All right, while we wait for that, we're going to combine 2 cakes of compressed yeast. Huh?
I have to say that I'm so used to modern day recipes and I've cooked and baked and followed enough recipes to know what I'm doing for the most part. But what is a compressed yeast cake? I mean, I'd imagine it's compressed yeast. Clearly. But I've never heard that term before. So guess what I'm doing?
Google.
2 yeast cakes equals 2 packages of yeast, which I do not have. I have a container, and I need 2 packages, which equals 4.5 teaspoons. Math.
Yeast math.
All right, now that we've got all that figured out, let's continue. Oh, this is a reminder. I really need to get a good stand-up mixer. Now we are to add 1.5 cups of the sifted flour. Now that's half of what the recipe calls for. Now cover and let rise for 15 minutes. Once the first rise is done, preheat the oven to 375 degrees. Then we'll beat in 1 egg at a time. And the rest of the flour.
Alright, I'm gonna try the water rise method to rise dough. I've never done that before. I hope it comes out okay. What you're supposed to do is tie the dough in a tea towel, allowing ample space for the dough to rise.
I don't own any tea towels, so the next best thing, a t-shirt, of course. And finally, we mix the chopped nuts, sugar, and cinnamon. Oh, I should note that the recipe says you can use any nut, and I chose peanuts. I decided to crush my own to save myself about $6, and I think next time I will just choose to spend the money and buy chopped nuts because mine varied from a fine powder to a whole peanut. And now for the big reveal. Oh boy, I should have read the directions a little better, a little more thoroughly. But considering the permeability of the t-shirt, I'm sure some water would have come into the dough anyway, so we're going to make this work. Now that the dough crisis has been averted, let's go ahead and continue on. Divide the dough into small pieces with a tablespoon. I think I made my balls a little bit too big because this is supposed to yield 2 dozen and I have 17. Then roll each piece in sugar nut mixture. Stretch about 8 inches in length, twist into the desired shape, place on a greased baking sheet, or parchment. You will notice that I didn't stretch these to 8 inches because voiceover Jen has more insight than in process Jen. I fumbled a little bit with coming up with a shape for this. However, a backwards S seemed to suit just fine.
I'm so tired. Oh. Get over it. Toughen up. Right? Isn't that what our parents would say? Tough it up. Stick it through even though your feet are bleeding and you've worked for 15 hours with no break.
This was the only footage that I recorded due to exhaustion, but just know the baking process went fine.
It's been a very long day. It took all day. Not necessarily to make the recipe, but to record everything. But it's a work in progress and I'm learning. So let's get to it. I think in this book it said that this was like a tea biscuit or a coffee. What did it say in here? Serve them anytime as breakfast rolls, with salad for lunch, or as a dessert bread. Alrighty. Let's try. So I've got my cappuccino here. Here, let's give it a taste. What is a 1949 $50,000 prize-winning cookie taste like? Biscuit. Cookie? Biscuit? Sure.
The moment of truth.
The texture is light and fluffy. There's still enough density to it where it can hold up to like continuous dunking. Not bad. I'm gonna try it without the coffee and see what it tastes like. Not too bad. I will say my modern palate is used to a heck of a lot more sugar. Not a bad thing that these have less sugar. But I think it's like you expect a cookie when you first bite in there. And it's more of like a tea biscuit. But it's really good. Like I don't know if you're a Life cereal, cinnamon Life cereal fan, like I am. But when you take that first bite and as you inhale that cinnamon scent that comes to you, with the cinnamon scent and the flavor, is very reminiscent of cinnamon Life cereal. Is it a $50,000 prize winner? It's hard to say. Back then, sure, absolutely. I just think we are so inundated with recipes and technology and just 70 years in the making. So I mean, we've had a lot of time to kind of come up with new ideas. So would it be a prize winning recipe today? I don't think it would take first prize, but I'm really glad I made these. I think that'll go really well with your teas and your coffee. Absolutely. And it's like I said, it's not super sugary, so you're not going to feel that rush of sweetness, but it's still a pretty solid product.
I may or may not be eating another one.
I say this was a win. Happy holidays, everyone. I'm going to go enjoy some time with the family. I hope you do the same. Bye.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2. I'm a 90s rapper.
Something like that. I don't remember.